What's up everyone, it's Bones here. In today's video, I'll be showcasing Wake Up Your Elemental Hero in the big three variants, Destiny, Omni, and Neos, as we'll be getting it in Maze in just a couple of weeks. But before I begin, if you could happen to click on those thumbs up and subscribe buttons, it would be greatly appreciated as they help support the channel and show me that you like content like this. It would also help a lot if you could click on those notification bells as they notify you when I upload on the channel. So for this first combo, and it will probably be the most important one you need to know, as it only takes one a hero lives, and we can special summon out our Stratos. The Stratos will get us any hero, which in this case will get the Ferris, and then from here we'll be able to tribute summon our Ferris and get its effect, which will then put the increase in our spell and trap zone, as we're going to use the increase to tribute the Ferris, special summon itself out along with a Vion from our deck, and then we can use the Vion's effect in order to get a Foolish for a Mali, as we're going to activate the Vion to banish the Ferris, getting our Poly, and from here we can now link away into our Crusader, as we're going to use its effect reviving the Mali, and then we'll be able to tribute off the Mali in order to get a search, as we're going to specifically get the Denier, as you want to be able to fuse away with it, and we're going to bring out a copy of Mali using its effect in the graveyard, and then from here we'll activate the Poly, go into our Phoenix Enforcer, and from here we can activate the Denier, putting the banished Mali back in our deck, as we're going to then go into our Wonder Driver, and from here we can activate the Mali, which will get us back our Polymerization when we special summon it under the pointer of Wonder Driver. So from here we'll then be able to activate the Poly, as we have two heroes with different attributes. We'll then go into our Sunriser, use the Sunriser's effect, and then we'll be able to get our Miracle Fusion, activate the Miracle Fusion, banishing the Sunriser and the Wonder Driver. I'm also going to banish extra monsters, as you see that Wake Up has an effect that reads, it takes one elemental hero fusion monster plus 1+ warrior monsters, must first be fusion summoned, gains 300 attack for each fusion material used for its summon. This card can make a number of attacks on monsters each battle phase up to the number of fusion monsters used as material for its summon. If this card battled a monster after damage calculation, destroy that monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the original attack. If this fusion summon card is destroyed, special summon one warrior monster from your hand or deck. So a very unique card for heroes, but a very good one at that, as you'll see through this video. So from here we're going to use the Enforcer to pop itself along with the Wake Up, and then we can use the Wake Up, which is mandatory, so it will always be Chainlink 1, as the Enforcer is going to be Chainlink 2, and then from here we'll be able to bring out our Shadow Mist. The Shadow Mist can then get its effect, as we'll search a mass change, set the mass change, and then we can go on to our opponent's turn, and then during the standby phase, when we get our Enforcer back, I'm just going to shotgun the mass change, but you can wait until Destroyer Phoenix pops something, and then you can chain the mass change to it so that you can banish whatever you pop. But you'll see that we're also going to get the search, as we also have the Dark Law on board, giving us the Phoenix along with the Dark Law just off of the A Hero Lives with the follow-up. So now for this second combo, I'll be doing A Hero Lives plus any hero monster in your hand, and this is to show kind of what, I don't want to say full combo, because with more cards you can obviously do more, but this is what the complete combo looks like when you just have the extra monster that you don't have to link away for the Cross Crusader. So we're going to get the effect of the Stratos here, as we'll get our Ferris. From here we can activate the Ferris, pitching the any hero, and then we'll use the effect of Ferris, getting the increase, activate the increase, tributing the Ferris. Increase will then bring out the Vion, as we're going to use the Vion's effect, sending the Mali, and from here we can use the effect of Vion, getting the Poly by banishing the Ferris, and then we'll go into the Cross Crusader, revive the Mali, as we're going to use the Cross Crusader, tributing off the Mali in order to get us the search for the Denier. We'll then activate the Poly, as we'll fuse away the Stratos and the Denier for the Sunriser this time, and then we're going to be able to get the add for the Miracle Fusion, as we'll link away into the Wonder Driver with the Sunriser, as it's going to put a fusion monster in the graveyard, which is nice, as we'll be able to go into our Wake Up with it, giving it its additional effect. But as we summon it under the pointer of Driver, we can get back the Poly, as we're going to get the 2 bodies on board via the Mali, along with the effect of the Denier, which will put back the Mali that is banished so that we can special summon it to go on further into our plays. But we're going to activate the Poly first, as we're going to go into our Phoenix Enforcer, activate the Mali, then get the extra body as we're going to go into our Dread Decimator, and then we'll be able to use the effect of the Enforcer, popping the Wake Up and itself. The Wake Up will be Chainlink 1, the Destroyer Phoenix will be Chainlink 2, we'll then get the Shadow Mist on board as we'll search the Mass Change, and this will be able to give us the end board of the Shadow Mist with the Mass Change set, getting back our Destroyer Phoenix on end turn, and then we'll be able to use the Mass Change at any point in our opponent's turn to get the Dark Law and have attack boosts via the Dread Decimator. So the first 2 combos kind of cover Omni heroes and Destiny heroes, as it shows what you can do with minimal cards. Now I want to do the same for Neos, and it's going to be a Hero Lives plus Engage, and we'll be able to bring out the Stratos with the A Hero Lives, use the effect of Stratos, which will be able to get us a search for a Shadow Mist this time around that we can use with the Engage, as we're going to pitch it along with the Aqua Dolphin from our deck, as we'll bring out the Spirit of Neos and getting our Fusion substitute. We'll then use the effect of Shadow Mist as Chainlink 1, the effect of our Spirit of Neos as Chainlink 2, and then we'll be able to get our End Shuffle, as we'll then also get our Blazeman off the Shadow Mist. I had the Spirit of Neos Chainlink 2 because of Imperm and stuff like that, but we're now going to use the effect of Spirit of Neos and bring out our Elemental Hero Neos, as we're going to then activate our Fusion substitute, and then we can go into our Sunriser, which will use the effect of Sunriser, getting ourselves our Miracle Fusion, normal summoning our Blazeman, as we're going to add ourselves the Poly, and then from here we're going to activate the End Shuffle, putting back the Neos in order to get our Liquid Soldier, and then from here we're going to activate the End Shuffle to put back our Neos into our deck, and then from here we'll get a draw, as we're going to activate Poly now, as we'll then be able to go into our Wake Up, use the effect of the Liquid Soldier, getting us 2 draws. The draws don't matter, I'm not going to use them, so just treat them as random cards, but from here I'm going to activate the Miracle Fusion, and this will be able to get us into our Absolute Zero, rounding out our end board. And I know it's not necessarily too strong, but as I progress through the video, you'll see that I have tried to make solutions for that. So now we'll be moving on to the 4th combo, where we'll be starting off with a Hero Lives and Fusion Destiny, so pretty much back to Omni Heroes / Destiny Heroes, and we'll start this one by activating a Hero Lives. We'll bring out our Stratos, which will then be able to get us a search, as we'll get ourselves the Ferris like the first combo. We're going to tribute off the Stratos for the Ferris, then use the Ferris in order to get us the increase. The increase can then use its effect, which will special summon itself out along with the Vion from our deck, and then from here we'll activate the Vion. The Vion can get the send for the Mali, as we'll activate the Vion to get ourselves the Poly, and then from here we're going to link away into our cross, as we're going to bring back the Mali with its effect, and we'll tribute off the Mali so that we can get a search with the cross, getting us the Liquid Soldier, as we're going to activate the Mali now in order to bring out another copy of itself. Activate the Poly, as we'll then go into our Sunriser with the Liquid and the Mali, use the effect as Liquid Chainlink 1, the Sunriser is Chainlink 2, and we're just going to get random draws here, but we're going to go into our Wonder Driver now, as we have the Miracle Fusion in order to go into our Wake Up, and from here we can activate the effect of Wonder Driver in order to set back our Poly, activate the Fusion Destiny, and from here we're going to go into the Dystopia, which will then be able to use its effect to burn for whatever you send. If you don't play the Celestial, you'll probably burn for 1100 through the Denier, but we're going to use the Denier's effect now, which will get itself back, putting the Mali that was banished back into our deck so that we can use the Mali in our graveyard, bring out another copy of itself, as we're going to then activate the Poly, going into our Phoenix Enforcer, use the effect of the Phoenix, and from here we'll pop itself along with the Wake Up. The Wake Up will be the mandatory Chainlink 1, Phoenix Enforcer Chainlink 2, as we're going to bring out our Shadow Mist, and from here we'll be able to get get ourselves the mass change off the Shadow Mist, set the mass change, and then on our opponent's turn, we'll be able to get back our Phoenix Enforcer, as we're just going to shotgun the mass change. You can then special summon out the Dark Law under the Wonder Driver in order to get back either a mass change or a fusion spell, and you'll also get the Shadow Mist search for any other hero that you want to add. Now, flipping back to Neos, we're going to start this hand similar to our previous one, except instead of a hero lives, we open Stratos and we have the end shuffle this time. So we're going to start this one by normal summoning the Stratos, using its effect, which will be able to search us a Shadow Mist, and from here we'll activate the effect of Neospace, which will allow us to pitch a Neospation along with the Shadow Mist, bring out our Spirit of Neos as we get our fusion substitute, and from here we'll activate the Shadow Mist, as we'll then get the Spirit of Neos as Chainlink 2. You want to make the Shadow Mist Chainlink 1 because Spirit can get hit by the Imperm, but we're going to add ourselves the Favorite Contact along with the Liquid Soldier, as we're then going to use the effect to bring out our Neos by the Spirit of Neos, and we're going to use the effect of Spirit of Neos, and I want to point out that you don't have to do this for the video. If you do have it on board, I want to point out if you have to go into it, you can, but we're just going to end up shuffling it away anyways, as we're going to bring out the Blazeman, use the Blazeman's effect, which will get us a poly. So now we have two ways to fuse, with the Favorite Contact being a third on our opponent's turn. We'll activate the end shuffle in our graveyard, as we're going to get a draw by putting back the Shadow Mist and the Aqua Dolphin. The draw doesn't matter, as we're just going to fuse away into our Sunriser. We'll get the Liquid as Chainlink 1, the Sunriser as Chainlink 2, get our Miracle Fusion, as we'll then get two draws and pitch one. As we're now going to activate the Fusion Substitute, fusing away into Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, we can then activate the Fusion Substitute to put back the Sunriser in our deck, activate the Miracle Fusion. We'll then be able to fuse into our Absolute Zero, set the Favorite Contact, as we'll then be able to use the Favorite Contact on our opponent's turn and get ourselves anything. Normally, before Wake Up Your Elemental Heroes, the Neos board would sort of look like Sunriser plus Absolute Zero, but now we can add the Wake Up Your Elemental Hero to that. That is assuming they obviously didn't open full combo and didn't Cosmo Neos or something like that. Now, I'm going to get into the test hands rather quickly, and it's because I don't want to waste your time with how straightforward Wake Up is and what you're supposed to do with it in both decks. I'm going to start this one by special summoning out the Fenrir. We can then activate the Fenrir's effect, getting another copy of itself. We'll then be able to activate the Reinforcement of the Army, which will get us the Crosskeeper, as we're going to activate the Crosskeeper now. This will special summon out our Spirit of Neos. We'll activate the Spirit of Neos, which will get us the End Shuffle, and from here we can activate the End Shuffle, as we're going to then shuffle back the Spirit, special summon out our Stratos, and this will get us a search for a hero, as we're going to get the Liquid Soldier. We'll then activate the Poly. This will give us Sunriser access, as we'll also get the draw too, not only from the Liquid Soldier, but we'll get it from the Crosskeeper, which will basically be a draw 4, pitch 2, with the Miracle Fusion that we'll be able to get from the Sunriser. So you'll see that we're going to resolve those effects as we end up getting ourselves into Engage plus a Neospation. So we'll send our Shadow Mist along with the Hummingbird in order to bring out the Aqua Dolphin, get ourselves the Fusion Substitute off the Engage. Then from here we'll activate the Shadow Mist, as we're going to get the search for a hero, as we'll then be able to activate the effect of the Aqua Dolphin, which will be able to hit an opponent's card in hand if they have one that we can hit. But from here we're going to then activate the Fusion Substitute, fuse away into our Wake Up, we'll then activate the Fusion Substitute in the graveyard to put our Sunriser back and draw 1 as we get into our Favorite Contact. Use the End Shuffle in order to return cards to our deck in order to get a draw 1. Keep in mind that the only reason I didn't put back Neos is because we do have the Favorite Contact, but if you didn't have the Favorite Contact, then you wouldn't have to return 2, you could just return the Neos. From here we're going to activate the Miracle Fusion, go into our Absolute Zero, as we're then going to set 2 and pass, which all things considered feels like much better end board than previous Neos decks that didn't have the Wake Up, especially when you add in the Fenrir and stuff like Book of Eclipse that can couple with your Favorite Contact, and you still have the Spirit in hand. Now this will be the final replay, and you'll see that I am on the Doomlord, and it's strictly because you want to be able to prompt out a Kashtira. Say that your opponent has their Shang on board with only 3 of your zones locked. You can normal summon this, use its effect to banish the Shang, assuming they don't have the Arise Heart on board already. I'm going to start this hand here by activating the Destiny draw, pitching the Doomlord. We'll then draw 2, as you'll see that I'm also still on the D-Force. This is just a call for Kashtira. You don't want them to target your stuff. So from here I'm going to activate the D-Force. We'll then be able to get ourselves the Plasma. We'll then activate the A Hero Lives, paying half our life points, getting us into Stratos. Activate the Stratos effect, which will get us a search for a Ferris. We'll then use the Ferris effect, which will pitch the Plasma. We'll then be able to use its effect, getting the increase, as the increase can now use its effect, bringing itself out along with the Vion from our deck. We'll now be able to use the Vion's effect, which will send a Mali to our graveyard, as we're now going to use the effect of Vion, get us another polymerization, as we're now going to go into our Cross, use the effect of Cross in order to bring back the Mali. From here we can activate the effect of Cross, tributing the Mali to get ourselves the Dark Angel, and from here we'll activate the Poly, fusing away our Stratos along with the Liquid Soldier to get us a draw 2 along with the search for the Miracle Fusion. So from here we're going to get our 2 draws. We'll then pitch away the Talents, as we're not going to use it in a test hand. And from here we're going to activate the Miracle Fusion as we bring out the Wonder Driver and summon out our Wake Up under the pointer of Driver, as we'll get back our polymerization as well. And from here we can use the effect of Mali, bring out another copy of itself, as we're going to activate the Fusion Destiny now to get more names in the graveyard, to go into the Dominance, as I'm going to bring back the Denier. This just gets more names in the graveyard, also giving you the option of Dreadmaster. If you're playing Omni Heroes, this can also be Dystopia, and lines are basically still going to be similar. I'm just showing the Destiny Hero version because there's more that you can do with it. We're going to be able to activate our Poly here, as we'll bring out our Phoenix Enforcer. We'll then activate the Mali, and last time, as we're going to use it to go into our Dread Decimator. And now we can activate the effect of Dark Angel to give it to our opponent. Yet another Kashtira counter, which is kind of nice. It's also a Book of Eclipse counter, which is also very nice. But here we're going to use the effect of Enforcer, popping the Wake Up along with itself. The Wake Up will be Chainlink 1, the Destiny Hero will be Chainlink 2, and from here we'll bring out our Shadow Mist. The Shadow Mist can then get us a search for Mass Change, as we're going to set 3 and pass a turn, as we'll go on over to our opponent's turn, bring back the Enforcer, as we'll be able to use effect popping itself and the Dominance. We'll then use the Dominance to target 3 Destiny Heroes, as we're going to get the Dreadmaster, the Enforcer, and a level 4 with it, which I would like to point out, you can make Exceed plays like this on follow-up turns, but going to have our Destiny Heroes basically be able to be destroyed by battle or card effects. We also take no battle damage when they battle. Of the attack boost from the Decimator, we'll get a revive for a Destiny Hero off the Enforcer our next standby phase, while still having all of these back row set. You can also activate the Mass Change if you want to play around something like Droplet, even though it isn't really the format for that because of Arise Heart. It's just something that I would still like to add, as we're going to get the search off the Shadow Mist here for Vion or anything else that you want to add. So now I'll get onto the deck profiles, and the first one is going to be Omni Heroes. I'm on the 3 Super Poly in order to out the Arise Heart easier. You also have to consider that you can play Gaia if you want to combat Fenrir's, especially considering it's splashable in different decks. Also see that I'm only on 1 Phoenix Enforcer, 1 Dark Law because we only have 1 Mass Change. In Kashtira format, looking at the 1 increase as well, this may be risky, but the way that I feel about it is that play multiples, you're at more chance to banish one or the other. I feel like you're gambling either way with it, unless you're focusing on building a deck for an event. Then you shouldn't ignore the diversity in the format, because it just makes your deck brickier, less consistent, for the sake of one of the top decks in the format. If you disagree with that, then feel free to let me know, but sometimes I just feel you shouldn't over-prepare in diverse formats. I also feel like Thrust is just great in this deck, being able to get you a Hero Lives and Fusion Destiny. You can also get Rhoda and shuffle Talents evenly, Emergency Call, Poly or Miracle Fusion. May not be ideal, but still targets. Also able to do cool stuff like adding the Virus to the side deck because of Thrust, along with D-Barrier, which they're all easily searchable. And you'll see that I'm also running the Esk not only because Super Poly target for a Rise Heart, but because of the 2500 Dark that you could tribute for either of your viruses. Guardian Chimera is an option that I would like to point out. I think that when you have Poly in the deck, it's just always worth considering it at least. That's why I have that there. And we have the Lava Golem, which you'll actually see is pretty relevant in the other builds. Outside of that, there's not really much else I need to say about the Omni Hero list, besides the fact that having Fenrir is nice for the extra disruption. For the Neos deck list, and it's kind of similar to my previous one, I've just changed the Overfusion to 1. I've also put the Instant Contact to 1. I wanted more space for going second card. I'm still running the heavy Super Poly package because we run stuff like Gaia, we have the Esk, even the Shining, the Great Tornado. Just basically answers a lot of the diversity this format. Also see that I'm only on 1 Stratos, 2 Shadow Mists. That is because we also play the Lava Golems, and I think that's a big benefit that we do have with A Hero Lives, which means that we don't have to bank on our normal summon. We also have the Fenrir, which becomes an extra disruption for our opponent that Neos really didn't have before that we do post Darkwing Blast. And we have the Book of Eclipses, just another popular format call, as there also is stuff like Evenly you can play. With Lava Golem in the deck, hope that also explains why I also only have 3 normal summonable mental heroes that we really want to normal summon, excluding the Shadow Mist. There's going to be times where you even just bring them out of and shuffle as well, so just nice to have that consistency in deck. You'll also see that we're on 45, and I'm pretty sure all of these lists are over 40, and it's because of all the one-ofs that you play are just the Garnets. The Spirit of Neos and the Neos at 2 is kind of clunky. We also have the Neospatians, which are 2. Overfusion can be, the favorite contacts can be, so I feel going over 40 is right. I do love what Fusion Substitute does for the deck in terms of its draw ability, because one thing that this deck can do is draw a ton and then get you into your going second card, or cards that help you going first in regards to the Book of Eclipse and Super Polys, even your favorite contact. Also see that I'm on 1 of everything, and it's because the same reasons. I just don't think that a low tier deck like this would be making its extra deck fully focused on 1 deck when it's such a diverse format. Guardian Chimera is also an interesting option in this deck because of how much you draw, and then being able to get into your Fusion Substitute or Poly, and then the Poly, which you can go into the Guardian Chimera and make it untargetable. So the Fusion Substitute is always treated as polymerization, so if this is in your graveyard, it's also still untargetable, so that's kind of nice. Also want to give mentions to Thrust because this is a great side deck card, even main deck. Outside of that, I think that's all I have to say about the Neos version. On to the Destiny Hero version, and this one is built similar but different to both, where you'll see, like Omni Heroes, there's a lot of the stuff in regards to the Vision Hero stuff working together with the Fusion Destinies, but this has the 3D Force, the Destiny draws, only runs the 1 Stratos in it because we're playing Lava Golem. This is just another deck that you really don't want to normal summon with. I feel like Lava Golem is just too strong in too many matchups, being able to hit Sprite variants, being able to hit cash decks, being able to hit beyond basically anything else is just relevant. I also still like the Dreadmaster because we are playing over 40, and being able to protect your stuff from the amount of board wipes being played, also pretty helpful. And the last thing here that you'll probably notice is the Anki, and this is basically the same logic as your Esk, which basically you want 2,000 or 2,500 plus attack the virus, and this one is just here to get because you can search the mass change, get off Shadow Mist through the Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, which is just easily doable, so having that coupled with Thrust is pretty nice. Version actually does have the Guardian Chimera in it. You can play the second Phoenix Enforcer if you're that scared of Kashtira, or you see it a lot, then I would recommend it. I already voiced my opinions on how built them based on what I see. With all of that out of the way, I'll get on to the card by card. The 3 Ferris, the 3 A Hero Lives, the 3 Fusion Destiny, the 3 D-Force, the 3 Destiny Draw, Liquid Soldier, Shadow Mist, Celestial, Doomlord, the 2 Malleus, Stratos, Vions, the 1 Increase, the Plasma, Red Master, the 3 Lava Golems, the Talons, 2 Thrust, the Dark Angel, the 1 Miracle Fusion, the 2 Book of Eclipse, the 1 Evenly, Poly, the 2 Imperm, the 1 Mass Change, the 1 Rhoda, the 3 Destiny Draw. The extra deck, we have the 1 Dread Decimator, the 2 Cross, the 1 Wonder Driver, the Guardian Chimera, the Wake Up, the 0, Sid, Anki, Riser, Dread Decimator, Dominance, Stopia, Forcer, Idris, and Dark Law to round out the extra deck. For the Omni version, we have the Eris, the 2 Mali, the 1 Denier, the 2 Vion, the Increase, the Called By, the Dark Angel, the Plasma, the 2 Shadow Mist, the Spirit of Neos, Liquid Soldier, the 2 Stratos, the 3 A Hero Lives, the 3 Fusion Destiny, the 3 Ferris, Fenrir, the 3 Super Poly, the 2 Thrust, and the 1 Talent, the 2 Book of Eclipse, Evenly, Shuffle, Rhoda, Poly, Miracle Fusion, E-Emergency Call, and the 1 Mass Change to round out the main deck. Onto the extra deck, we have the Decimator, the 2 Cross, the 1 Wonder, the 1 Wake Up, Sunriser, Great Tornado, 0, Acid, Esk, Blast, Claw, Dangerous, Stopia, and Enforcer to round out the extra deck. Onto the Neos build, we have the 1 Stratos, the 1 Liquid Soldier, the 1 Blazeman, the 2 Spirit of Neos, the 1 Crosskeeper, the 1 Fusion Substitute, the 2 Elemental Hero Neos, the 1 Poly, the 1 Miracle Fusion, the 1 Rhoda, the 3 Engage, Neos Fusion, the 3 End Shuffle, the 3 A Hero Lives, Super Polys, the Golems, Fenrirs, the Book of Eclipse, Instant Contact, Favorite Contacts, the Shadow Mists, the Overfusion, the 1 Grand Mole, the Aqua Dolphin, and the Air Hummingbird. To round out the main deck. Onto the extra deck, we have the Devicer, the Cosmo Neos, Wake Up, Swingman, the Brave, the Sunriser, the Esk, the Absolute Zero, Mining, the Great Tornado, the Grand Neos, the Gaia, Air Neos, the Aqua Neos, and the Flame Wingman to round out the extra deck. But anyways, if you made it this far into the video, I thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them down below. It's Bones, signing out.